Last year, 1,100 Australians received a donated organ, according to the government's register. But at any one time, about 1,600 people are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. Cystic fibrosis sufferer Lauren Rowe was given donated lungs in 2010. She's now part of a renewed push by Zaidee's Rainbow Foundation for Australia to implement a opt-out organ donation system rather than the current opt-in format. She joins me now in the studio. Lauren, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
As I said at the start there, you received a life-saving operation in 2010, but you're now facing another setback.
Yes, well, earlier this year I went through some rejection, which means your bloodstream in your body realises that these lungs aren't your own and start fighting it. And I've just had permanent damage through that, and I've had treatment for that, but I've had a lot of permanent damage, and I'm now living off a 30% lung capacity, and if that drops again, then I'll be reconsidered to go back on the transplant list.
What is that like to feel reliant on someone else? You have no control over this situation. This is something that many of us will never experience, but this is part of your life.
Yeah, well, waiting on the list it's just a roller coaster of emotions. It's you realise that you emphasise a lot on time because your time's running out, and then you don't know if the call's going to come because you have to wait for the phone call to say that there is an organ for you, and because there is a shortage, you don't know if you'll receive that phone call or not. I myself have been lucky the first time round, and I obviously received the phone call. I had 2 weeks left to live when I got that phone call, and unfortunately some of my friends haven't been so lucky, and they've passed away waiting on the list.
And so you're part of this push now to change Australia's mechanism for this. Currently it's an opt-in technique. You're saying that an opt-out system is better. Why?
So opt-in, for everyone to know what that is, means that everyone's considered not to be an organ donor unless they go and sign the register online, or if their family decide that they are in the circumstance. An opt-out option, is that everyone is considered an potential organ donor unless you go and you say you don't want to be an organ donor, or if your family say they don't want to. And with the statistics, it says that we will, within putting this through legislation, within a few years of having it within Australia, organ donation could increase up to 20%, which is a lot.
So where are those statistics coming from? There are obviously other countries in the world that have this system where it's opt-out. Are they based on those statistics from those countries, such as Spain, Poland, Italy?
Yes. So Spain has 32 people organ donors per million population. In Australia, we've got under half, which is 16 per million people. I think it's 24 countries out of 36 of the countries that have organ donation already use the opt-out system, and their results have just been fantastic and phenomenal. And I think it's more of a question of why not do it in Australia. We have some of the world-class results of post-transplant survival rates, yet our organ donation rates are so low. And if we got the organ donation rates up as well, it would just be amazing, because there's one person dying every week waiting on the transplant list in Australia.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens, and good luck to you, Lauren. Thank you so much for coming in and speaking to us.
Thanks for having me.